92. Samyutta Nikaya 12, Sutta 50. The second noble disciple Sutta. The Blessed One was staying in Savatthi. The Blessed One said, Bhikkhus, a well-instructed noble disciple, does not think like this. When what exists, what comes to be? With the arising of what arises? When what exists, do formations come to be? When what exists, does consciousness come to be? When what exists, does name and form come to be? When what exists, do the six sense bases come to be? When what exists, does contact come to be? When what exists, does feeling come to be? When what exists, does craving come to be? When what exists, does clinging come to be? When what exists, does existence come to be? When what exists, does birth come to be? When what exists, do aging and death come to be? Instead, Bhikkhus, the well-instructed noble disciple, understands as it really is, without relying on others. When this exists, that comes to be, with the arising of this, that arises. With ignorance as condition, formations come to be. With formations as condition, consciousness comes to be. With consciousness as condition, name and form comes to be. With name and form as condition, the six sense bases come to be. With the six sense bases as condition, contact comes to be. With contact as condition, feeling comes to be. With feeling as condition, craving comes to be. With craving as condition, clinging comes to be. With clinging as condition, existence comes to be. With existence as condition, birth comes to be. With birth as condition, aging and death come to be. He understands thus. This is how the world originates. Bhikkhus, the well-instructed noble disciple, also does not think like this. When what does not exist, what does not come to be? With the cessation of what ceases? When what does not exist, do formations not come to be? When what does not exist, does consciousness not come to be? When what does not exist, does name and form not come to be? When what does not exist, do the six sense bases not come to be? When what does not exist, does contact not come to be? When what does not exist, does feeling not come to be? When what does not exist, does craving not come to be? Clinging, existence, birth. When what does not exist, do aging and death not come to be? Instead, Bhikkhus, the well-instructed noble disciple, understands as it really is, without relying on others. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. With the cessation of ignorance, formations cease. With the cessation of formations, consciousness ceases. With the cessation of consciousness, name and form ceases. With the cessation of name and form, the six sense bases cease. With the cessation of birth, aging and death cease. He understands thus. This is how the world ceases. Bhikkhus, when a noble disciple thus understands as it really is the origin and passing away of a world, this is called a noble disciple who is accomplished in view, accomplished in vision, who has arrived at this true Dhamma, who sees this true Dhamma, who possesses a trainee's knowledge, a trainee's true knowledge, who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, a noble one with penetrative wisdom, one who stands squarely before the door to the deathless. This is the 10th sutta. This sutta mainly expounds on 1. The noble disciple's profound understanding of the 12 links of dependent origination. 2. The ability to directly understand the law of cause and effect without conceptual thinking. 3. A complete explanation of the principle of dependent origination from both the arising and ceasing aspects. 4. A detailed list of the virtues and standards of attainment for noble disciples. 5. Emphasis on the importance of true understanding of dependent origination as key to achieving the noble path. This is a deeper exposition of the law of dependent origination, particularly emphasizing the wisdom qualities and standards of attainment for noble disciples. In-depth analysis of the sutta's profound wisdom. Core principles of the sutta. 1. The nature of direct wisdom. True wisdom is not conceptual thinking or reasoning. It's a direct, unanalyzed understanding of reality as it is. It transcends the limitations of language and thought. 2. Two dimensions of dependent origination. 1. Arising aspect reveals the causal chain of existence, demonstrates the complete process of life cycle, explains the origin and formation of suffering. 2. Ceasing aspect points to the possibility of liberation, reveals the method for eliminating afflictions, shows the path towards nirvana. 2. Deep philosophical reflections. 1. Distinction between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is conceptual understanding. Wisdom is direct realization. Transcends dualistic thinking. 2. Exploration of the nature of life. Life is not a static existence. It's a dynamic, interdependent process. There is no eternally unchanging entity. 3. The real possibility of liberation. Through understanding the causal chain, seeing clearly the root of suffering, finding the method for liberation. 3. Practical implications for spiritual practice. 1. Method of observation. Avoid the trap of conceptual thinking. Cultivate the ability for direct perception. Maintain clear awareness. 2. Development of wisdom. Go beyond surface phenomena. Deeply observe cause and effect relationships. Cultivate intuitive wisdom. 3. Path to liberation. Start by addressing ignorance. Eliminate attachments. Move towards ultimate liberation. 4. Application to modern life. 1. Psychological aspect. Understand the process of emotional arising. See clearly the root of afflictions. Find methods for inner peace. 2. Daily life practice. Observe cause and effect in daily life. Cultivate a wise attitude towards life. Reduce attachments and afflictions. 3. Interpersonal relationships. Understand interdependent relationships. Cultivate compassion. Establish harmonious relationships. V. Insights for modern people. 1. Renewal of cognition. Transcend mechanical views of causality. Establish a holistic view of the universe. Develop higher cognitive abilities. 2. Transformation of life. From passive reaction to active awareness. From conceptual thinking to direct experience. From bondage of afflictions to liberation through wisdom. 3. Spiritual elevation. Develop inner wisdom. Realize life transformation. Reach higher states of being. Conclusion. This sutta is not just a theoretical system, but also a practical guide. It tells us, 1. True wisdom is not the accumulation of knowledge, but direct realization. 2. The truth of life cannot be understood through thinking alone. It requires intuitive wisdom. 3. Liberation is not out of reach, but can be achieved through observation and practice. These teachings are particularly important for modern people because we often get lost in conceptual thinking. We are troubled by various afflictions. We need to find inner peace. By understanding and practicing the teachings of this sutta, we can develop higher wisdom, gain inner freedom, realize the true value of life. This is why this sutta is called the Noble Disciple Sutta, as it points out the path to becoming a truly wise person.